I have this, I think it's an irrational fear. I mean, maybe it's actually rational, but I have this fear that my cat pooped somewhere that I can't see, and I'm basically going to attract cockroaches and then die. But I think that I'm too much of a clean freak to have not noticed a secret pile of poop, and my cat just like farted or something, and that's what I'm smelling. Today was an okay day, but the last interaction I had today was fucking annoying. I hate this particular situation. Basically, my mom needed my help with something. I don't live with my parents. I haven't lived with my parents in 10 years. So I haven't been, in some ways, like, I haven't been around to help them with stuff because I'm not even in the same city. But then in other ways, like, I do help them over the phone, over video, like, as much as I can. And I almost go out of my way to help because I'm not there and I feel a sense of guilt. The frustrating thing is I don't care about helping. Like, I don't mind helping my parents with technology. I understand they're immigrants. I understand English is not their first language. This stuff is scary. They're older, etc., etc. I'm haunted by that one scene in Masters of None where Aziz Ansari's dad asks him to like help him with something on his iPad, and then Aziz Ansari is like, never mind, like, I'll do it later. And the dad remembers getting him a computer when he was a kid, and now look at where they're at. I hate that scene because that scene is what I fear. And my parents probably do feel that way. But the truth is not that. And I've told my parents this, but they have no regard for it. I don't mind helping. What pisses me off is when they don't try at all. Because one, you don't respect me because you're not respecting my time. Two, you're driving me mad because every time we have an issue, we start from level 0. And then we work through all the steps we've worked through at least a million times, then finally get to this new problem, which they're not going to retain anything that I show them because they haven't even retained the basics. And it's just crazy. Like, if my parents were disabled or mentally ill, or, I mean, they are mentally ill, if they had something wrong that prevented them from doing the basics, then I wouldn't care. It's just, I'm their daughter, I'm going to help them. But that's not what it is. They give up. They just choose to not try. They get overwhelmed and then their brains just shut off. And I just have no respect for that because they're not dumb. They're very smart people. They came to a country where they didn't know the language, learned the language without even finishing high school. They came to a country they didn't know, they found jobs. They came to a country they didn't know, and they even have a mortgage. How is it that you were able to figure all of that out? But the same 3 problems, they annihilate you in technology. My dad straight up refuses to remember any of his passwords. And there's also an element of like men being useless in my life with that one, which is why I refuse to write down his passwords as well. And I just get infuriated every time I have to reset it. But I just fucking hate that. I don't like the concept of punishing people that are doing good work by giving them more work. I didn't like that when I had people working under me. I don't like that in this dynamic with my dad. Just because I'm more organized and I know English does not mean I'm the one that should be memorizing all your passwords. You are physically unhealthy, but you still are able to walk and talk and make your own food and wipe your ass, you're intellectually there, completely there. Like, you're probably depressed and anxious, but you are cognitively pretty good for a 70-year-old. So why the hell are you not remembering your passwords? Why the fuck are you not writing them down if you can't remember it just in your head? He chooses not to. It's laziness. It's a form of laziness. And that is what makes me so upset. And yeah, like, they just get overwhelmed and they freeze, and they're the worst communicators because they don't say, hey, I'm getting overwhelmed and I'm confused. They're freaking out and yelling at me on the phone, being like, well, this thing is broken and this thing it did a thing and it stopped. And I have to sit there and ask them, how am I supposed to know what you're talking about if you just keep saying thing all the time? Like, I don't have eyes 5 hours away from me right now. And every time I feel guilty about getting angry and being mean and exploding on them, I just try to remind myself that my parents, I learned this from them. They did this to me when I was a kid trying to learn stuff in school. They never were kind. They were never compassionate. They were angry that I didn't know stuff, and they just yelled at me and basically all the same things that I'm doing to them now. I'm not doing this shit on purpose, but one, there's like no effort from their side, and two, I'm emulating what I was taught even though I don't want to. And every time I feel guilty, I just try to remember my parents may be old and stuck in their ways, but I don't understand that concept. You've been along for a long time. Get with the times. You've had more time to learn things, and to just completely give up on yourself like this and have it affect me so much, I can't. I hate it. And then the other thing, which I can't remember. I fucking lost it, man. I have no idea. I don't even know what I was talking about. I'm really tired. But yeah, that was very frustrating. Okay, wait. Every time I feel guilty, I try to remember that one, they didn't show me any compassion even though I was the kid who literally, this is my first time, I've been on Earth for like 5 years, and you're getting angry at me that I don't know how to do the times tables. How does that make sense? I didn't even know what a times table was until a month ago. Whereas with you, I've showed you how to do the same thing. Okay, actually, this brings me to another point. If I'm showing them how to do something and they're not understanding what I'm saying, clarify so that you can make your own notes that you can refer to in your own voice. But instead, my parents never stop me and say, hey, like, I didn't understand what that was. They just go, they're not even listening to me. And then I have this freaking weird insecurity about people never listening to me when I talk. Like, they're not actually hearing the substance of what I'm saying, which is also frustrating because, again, you just give up. You're just not trying at all, and you have no regard for how much harder that makes my life. My parents don't know anything about me, but they know one hard thing that happened to me recently, and it's like they don't care if they forgot this and that, and that's frustrating because as always, what my parents love to do is when I'm stressed and I'm tired, when I'm unsure, scared, anything you can think of, they never, ever, ever help. But I can count on them on making the situation 100 million times worse, which sucks because they're my parents and they're supposed to support me. So yeah, I just had that argument over the phone, and now I feel drained and I feel nothing inside of me, and I'm very frustrated, and I'm angrier because nothing was going to change. Nothing is going to change because nothing has changed, and I am just stuck in the middle of it. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.